What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is JU with goldmines.com. Back to talk a little bit of MMA with you. First of all, I just want to say Happy New Year's to everybody. It is officially 2017. I hope everybody had, uh, you know, wonderful holidays. And I hope you guys are, as excited about 2017 and as I am. And I hope you're ready to, leave 2016 where it was. Though it was a crazy year, man. I watched a lot of those like 2016 recap videos, uh, that showed all the stuff that happened in 2016, man. And I really had to reflect and just acknowledge how wild of a year 2016 was, not just in MMA, which was a beautiful year for MMA, um, you know, crazy year even in boxing, but just, everything, politically and, socially and the internet was crazy. It was just a wild year, man. So, definitely happy with 2016. I'm definitely eager to tackle 2017, as I hope you all are. But, anyways, what I really wanted to touch bases with you guys about today. It's been a while since I've done an audio because of the holidays. But what just passed was Ronda Rousey's return. Fear the Return was the headline for this bout, UFC 207. So let's start here. First of all, if you don't know what happened, Amanda Nunes, the first openly gay Brazilian champion, defended her title against Ronda Rousey. And Amanda Nunes demolished Rousey in 48 seconds. Anybody that watched this fight would agree it was almost hard to watch, I think, for most of us. Nobody knew exactly where Ronda Rousey was at, how she was going to bounce back. But I will start off, and let me set a disclaimer here. I'm not trying to start rumors, but I have to say what I actually thought. Ronda Rousey looked like she was in great physical shape. I thought she was juicing. And some of you might hate me for that. I'm just saying, and the reason I said this to people when fight night, when we were all watching it, she just looked way more ripped up than I've ever seen her in her career. And I know she was focused for the fight, but her build, I mean, her physique was ridiculous. She looked like a straight upper bodybuilder. Her upper body was huge. All six abs showing. Um, I mean, it was crazy. So I will also eat some crow because because I thought she was juicing. I thought she was going to take this fight. Now, leading up into the fight, I was telling everybody I think Amanda Nunes can beat her. And it's simply because she has the style. How did Ronda Rousey get beat up last time? She fought somebody in Holly Holmes who could keep distance and make her pay every time she tried to close distance, which, if anybody knows anything about Ronda Rousey and her style, you know that's what she has to do. She has to close distance. She is a judoka. She is a judo practitioner, meaning she typically gets her opponents in some sort of head toss, right? Wraps them around the shoulders, arms, something of that nature, hip throws them, goes to the ground, and usually finishes in some type of arm bar, some type of submission, whatever. Now, the reason that Amanda Nunes posed a problem is because I think there's a general consensus that Amanda Nunes is probably the hardest hitting woman in the 135 division. Maybe the hardest hitting woman, period, pound for pound, outside of Cyborg. Um, and so that was already going to pose a problem. On the ground, let's say Ronda Rousey did get her on the ground. Amanda Nunes is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. Now, I do find myself questioning this because I've watched Amanda Nunes' fights, and she isn't particularly, or doesn't appear to be particularly super comfortable on the ground. Um, I believe she has been submitted before. Don't quote me on that. I know that she did finish Holly, no, not Holly Holm, excuse me. Misha Tate with the submission, but even then, she had already had Misha Tate dazed and confused, beat up. I think her nose was probably already broken. And if you really watch the fight, it looks like like Misha Tate just kind of gave it to her, like she was done. And then obviously, right after that fight, she retired. So that's I think the only thing that made me switch to Ronda was, can she close the distance? Because I mean, let's face this. That's the only thing Ronda Rousey should have been working on this whole year and some change, was closing distance. Um, my girl, who is a very big Ronda Rousey fan, was even concerned leading up to the fight. She said, all I'm seeing are videos of her hitting pads. And, part of me thought that's to sell the fight, because Ronda Rousey, unlike many UFC fighters or MMA fighters, has the uh, transcended the demographic, meaning she reaches out to a demographic that isn't hardcore, diehard fight fans. So when somebody who isn't a diehard fight fan watches a video of Ronda Rousey, I think the last thing they want to see her do is jujitsu or judo work. Maybe some throws. I would like to see some throws, but what I was thinking was, it always looks better to sell a fighter who punches. So that was what I was assuming. But now we go into UFC 207, and the only thing everybody can ask is, what the hell was she practicing for for the whole year off before UFC 207? Because she still didn't show any signs of head movement at all. Um, and she was just running into punches. Here's what I think should have happened over the course of her off time. And I've been saying this for, the whole year while she's been off, is she really needs to practice wrestling. The striking is fine, but it should only be to flash some type of threat upstairs, right? Maybe show that she can land a good jab, and then shoot, right? Something is like almost a blinder, so she can start working on some single leg, double leg takedowns, um, or even just level changing in general. Even if she never got really good at level changing, just the threat of a level change to a girl like Amanda Nunes, who would rather keep it on the feet, would have at least slowed her down in theory. But she went out there and showed no head movement. And in all honesty, if you watch this fight, I think within the first 10 seconds, she was already dazed and having flashbacks of the Holly Holm fight. Um, I mean, even the way she was flinching against the cage, probably about 30 seconds into the fight, like, a couple seconds before she got all the way taken out, it was just pure survival instincts. It was like watching a person who had never been in a fight before getting hit, and the only thing they can do was pray that the boogeyman would go away. And of course, Amanda Nunes was trying to make Ronda Rousey go away, which she did. Um, so yeah, I just, you have to wonder what she was doing before the camp. Even after the Holly Holm fight, there was a wide consensus that she needs to leave. I think his name is Edmund Tavarian. I might say his last name wrong, but Edmund, her trainer, who's a boxing coach. And I wholeheartedly agree. Even and to some credit to Ronda Rousey, she remained loyal, and there's no problem with that. But loyalty to another person has to come with some reciprocation. There has to be loyalty from Edmund to her, and Edmund should know, hey, we have to do some things to change up our camp, and we need a plan A, B, C, and D going into the next fight. So if he really sat up there and taught her boxing for the last year, thinking that 360 days or however long she was training, couldn't have been 365 days, because she was out for at least 5, 6 months just healing up. So for the next 6 months, you taught her more boxing to get to 6 months to try to get her ready for a girl who has been striking for her whole career, years. And that's just ridiculous. Now, granted, Ronda Rousey has been working on boxing for more than a few years. You know what I mean? She's been punching those mitts for most of her career because she was already a good judoka. So after the Holly Holm fight, if her punching didn't work by then, striking should have been minimal. Striking should have been minimal. It should only have been striking to practice takedowns, not striking to strike, but striking to set up takedowns. And as much as everybody wants to blame, you know, Ronda Rousey's psychological state, and they want to blame Edmund for being a boxing coach, let's put some things into perspective. First of all, let's start with Edmund. He is a boxing coach, and it's been well stated by Ronda Rousey's mother. I was just watching the video that she released last year, but a lot of people are putting it out now about how Ronda Rousey walked into that boxing gym where Edmund trains at, which is out here in Glendale, not too far from me. I live about 5 minutes from that gym. And she was already this world class judo practitioner. He just started trying to teach her boxing, and he didn't even want to do that at first, but whatever. Took her in. So he's already been riding the wave that is Ronda Rousey, right? He's already been riding that coattail, and he's not going to ever tell anybody that his his practice or his teachings to Ronda Rousey were wrong. It was just that they had the wrong game plan, or she froze up. Um, but it's also up to Ronda Rousey, just as a human being, to say, "Hey, I need to do some things. Look at my fight. I have over 365 days to watch this Holly Holm fight. Watch what I did wrong. This is what I need to practice." And it was up to her to say, "I need to spar harder." You know what I mean? You've been in the fight game long enough now to know how real athletes get this thing done. And you need to spar. And just watching her get hit that first time and seeing how she froze up and her reaction wasn't to move her head, let me know that she wasn't sparring hard enough. After the first 2 or 3 times I ever sparred, I started moving my head more. Um, that's just, once you've been coached to do that. But you have to really be getting hit in sparring. I wonder, did is Ronda Rousey sparring a bunch of yes men, a bunch of other females or dudes that don't really want to hit her? I mean, I think there's video of her sparring, uh what's his name? Avanesian? I forgot. I think he's an Armenian boxer. I think it's Avanesian, but again, don't quote me on that. But there's footage of her sparring. This is years ago, before the Holly Holm knockout, and she's already getting her ass beat. So I'm wondering, are they letting her get those hits in? Or is somebody really sparring her like they want to take her out, like she's preparing for a fucking war with Amanda Nunes? Excuse my language. That's what I'm wondering. It doesn't look like it. Okay? And speaking of the psychology of where Ronda Rousey was at, it's easy. Hindsight is 2020, so it's easy to say that, you know, the whole media blackout and all that stuff was, red flags. I think I heard Brendan Schaub say that on the Joe Rogan Experience. And Rogan called him out. He said, obviously hindsight is 2020. It's if she would have came in and smashed Amanda Nunes, nobody would be saying shit. But guess what? She didn't. So hindsight is 2020. And I think that the media blackout should have been a red flag because the way I was looking at it the whole time, and I even posted something about this on the Instagram. I did say, I was like, I wonder where she's at mentally, because really this is the way she should have came into this fight, because there was only one of two options that would have that Ronda Rousey was going to see, right? She was either going to win this fight and come back as the grand champion, or she was going to lose this fight and be defeated, whether spectacularly like she was or in a war. Nobody knows. But either way, she could only win or she could only lose. Now, again, if she won and, had the media blackout, and then after the blackout, and by blackout, if you don't know what I'm saying, is Ronda Rousey decided not to do any press leading up to the fight. So that's what I'm talking about. But anyways, had she not done she didn't do the media and the press, And if she wins the fight, she can come back and explain, hey, I was focused for the fight, but now you see it's worth it. And I think everybody saw that angle, obviously. But I don't think they ever once really truly considered what happens if she loses. And what I told people Ronda Rousey should have done is Ronda Rousey should have did at least just one video, just to the fans, her fans. Forget the rest of the media. If you really don't like the media anymore, you feel like they turned on you, which I'll get to, but you feel like they turned on you, okay. But you come out and you make one actual video, not a statement. I'm sick of seeing fucking statements from you through Instagram. You know what I mean? A real video with Ronda Rousey in it saying, listen, guys, I'm not going to do any media for this fight. And I hope you guys understand. I suffered a really devastating loss. It took me a long time to get my mind off of it. But now I realize that I just have to try to really focus on this fight. And so I don't want to be distracted for the press. After the fight is over, I'll answer any and all questions you have, whether in defeat or victory. But I just need to do this for me. I hope you guys understand. I do appreciate you guys as fans. But this will be my last video until after the fight. And I think everybody would have just been like, no, that's respectable. We're not going to talk shit. But you just not to do anything. Then you walk into the weigh-in, which is the video that I posted up. You walk in, you don't say hi to the media, not a flex, nothing. You're not posing for the camera. You know, there's this sentiment that Ronda Rousey's putting out there that she feels that the media turned on her in the last fight against Holly Holm, which goes to show what type of people she has in her corner that didn't keep it honest with her, because the media is not there to be your friend. They're there to be a tool for you, and you are a tool for them. It is a business relationship. Their job is to report what is happening in boxing as they see it, not as it is factually. So you're winning, you're on this great run, they love you because you are doing what you set out to do. But the moment you lose and they say Ronda Rousey has flaws, Ronda Rousey isn't perfect, Ronda Rousey got knocked out in devastating fashion, when they're just telling it how they see it. And you look at this and you say, oh, they turned on me. No, they didn't turn on you. Their real loyalty is to their fans, just like your loyalty should be to your fans. Your job isn't to be friends with the media. Their respect is to be earned because they are a conduit between you and your fans. They are the messengers. You're killing the messengers and you're killing your fans. So psychologically, she was already, I feel like, in a petty place. And I hate to say this because again, I really have high admiration for Ronda Rousey. I am not a Ronda Rousey hater, man. I am one of the people that say, look at what she's done. You can call her, uh, you know, a fraud if you want to, but there was still, what? I don't know, 12, 13, 14 broads before her who tried and failed. You know what I'm saying? She just finally met her match. And more importantly, now her blueprint is out. And what's even worse is during this camp, she didn't seem to change her blueprint. Okay? If you have a fortress and your fortress gets infiltrated, you don't keep the fortress the same. Change up the layout. Something's got to give. Also, as far as psychologically, I don't want to give all of that credit to Ronda Rousey. Although it was her fight to lose, Amanda Nunes beat her. Right? So I think a lot of, they didn't focus on Amanda Nunes for the promo, understandable. Dana White's great at what he does in promotion. So how can you argue with that? But Amanda Nunes stepped into that cage and implemented her game plan perfectly. And Ronda Rousey did not. So is there some blame to put on Ronda Rousey, her coach, her camp, psychologically, physically, whatever? Of course. But you got to give the champ credit. The champ defended her title. It was Ronda Rousey's job to take it and Amanda Nunes' job to defend it. And she did that. So, yeah. I mean, I don't want to dwell too much on it. There are some things that I noticed in the fight that it looks like they tried to teach Ronda, which really pissed me off. Like you saw her throw half-ass front kicks, like front push kicks. And they were so half-assed, like, why did you even throw those? She's head hunting Ronda Rousey, and Ronda Rousey has no head movement, And she didn't even level change once. She didn't like try to grab her at the waist or nothing. As soon as she saw that those punches flying at her head, she should have taken a step back, level change, boom. But again, anybody that practices will probably tell you that's not her style. And I understand, but that's what she should have been training for. Because she had a better chance as a judoka to transition into wrestling, even in the most amateur state than she was going to um, she was then success, or she was going to have more success, excuse me, she was going to have more success trying to transition, from things that she does as a judoka into wrestling than she was as a judoka into striking or boxing. It just wasn't going to happen. So, you know, again, I don't want to tear her down. What's next for Ronda Rousey? Who knows? I personally believe she's going to retire. I don't think she has the mental like fortitude anymore. She crumbled, ladies and gentlemen. And again, that's just an observation. I'm just part of the media that's trying to call it how I see it, and I feel like she crumbled. So, I don't have any desire to see her continue to get hurt like that because, like I've said in past videos, women's MMA and MMA in general is in transition, man. It's in evolution. There are changes of the guard. Changing of the guard is happening right now. Look at Garbrandt and Dominic Cruz, man. Dominic Cruz is a beast. And I want to touch on Dominic Cruz actually right now. Um, just briefly, because there's also two ways really that really champions handle defeat. The first way is, and the best way is someone like Dominic Cruz and a McGregor, who in defeat say, hey, I tried my best. I tried to achieve greatness and I failed, but I will try again. Shout out to my competitor, my opponent. Man, and America loves that. Right when Dominic Cruz said that, you just had to be like, dude, like gave you chills. Like that's a soldier. And then you have Ronda Rousey, who twice now after a defeat has made no comment to anybody. And you know what? With all due respect, at the end of the day, that's her prerogative, man. But it's just that for a fan like myself who rode with you to the top, who watched you in those first fights against Misha Tate, Strike Force stuff, to where you were to the UFC, to just feel like, dang, you're really just copping out, man. You can't even lose humbly. It just makes me feel like I don't really want to support you anymore, to be honest. And call me a hater if you think that, but it's true, man. Amanda Nunes just beat you and you walk out the ring again. Now, granted, maybe for Holly Holm, your lip was split and all that. I mean, I saw, Robbie Lawler talk with a split lip. So I feel like you can too. But whatever, you didn't do it. Okay, understandable. But this time your lip wasn't split. Physically, you were fine. All you had to do was say, hey guys, I tried to focus up again. Hit us with that. Let us know. I'm sorry I didn't get to talk to you. I really wanted to try to focus on this fight, but things didn't work out. Yeah, you said that in your statement after, but we wanted to hear it from you. We haven't heard you say a word. You're quiet as a church mouse. You used to talk so much shit before the fight. And maybe you used to do that for promotion, but I believe you believed it. Don't be afraid of being human, Rhonda. You're afraid of being human. Apologize. Or at least just show some humility. Hey, I tried my best. I'm sorry I couldn't do it for you guys. She's a great champion. Kudos to her. I don't know if I'll be back, but if I do come back, I'm going to come back stronger than ever. And if I decide to ride off into the sunset, I appreciate everything that this sport has given me. And I appreciate you as the fans who have supported me, because there are still fans who support you, Rousey. But anyways, who knows what's happening with her? I think she's going to retire. I think the next ill fight that I'd like to see, since freaking Cyborg got popped for roids again, is maybe either a catchweight title or a potential two title shot for Amanda Nunes against the winner of Holly Holm and that other girl she's fighting. I forget her name. For the 145 title, because obviously I think Holly Holm was moving up to potentially face off with Cyborg. I think that was the play, and then she got popped for roids, so that just kind of botched that mission. So yeah, you know, I'd like to see Amanda Nunes is here to stay, man. But Amanda Nunes and Holly Holm would be a great fight. Amanda Nunes already beat Shevchenko, who I think is the number one contender now. That she beat Ronda. So I wouldn't mind seeing a recap of that fight. I think Shevchenko's probably learned a lot, especially since the Holly Holm fight. Um, so I think that would still be a good fight, but it's not going to be a big seller. But I think Holly Holm and Amanda Nunes as the two women who beat Ronda Rousey would be a great sell. So if Holly Holm wins that 145 title, nothing is guaranteed. She's coming off two losses herself. Um, but yeah, man. Anyways, I just wanted to touch bases. It's already gone, 5 minutes over what I wanted it to. But, um, you know, Ronda Rousey, there's a lot of fighters that say Ronda Rousey should stay in it. I'm not one of those people, not just fighters, but media. I'm not one of those people who believes she should stay. I think it's about time for her to retire, right off into the sunset, take the year or two off till the media dies down and the UFC finds another star, and go where Misha Tate went and go behind the commentator table and talk about fighting. Um, and watch the sport evolve and be a part of it in that fashion. Um, if she does come back, change camps, man. That's all I can tell you. Change camps. Um, you have a lot of things to work on, striking included, but wrestling, whatever. You need to figure it out. And your coach needs to get dropped at this point because you guys aren't ready. He's obviously not been putting you through the right ringer. He didn't have you sparring hard enough or with the right people. If you were just doing mitts, every coach knows that's ridiculous. Mitts don't teach you how to fight. They just teach your body how to move in certain ways, but it's not application, right? It's almost like studying for, like if you're a physician, you can do all the studying you want to, but you have to actually apply the studying, right? So you can be a smart physician and know what movements you should do, but actually doing them when it's surgery time and the pressure's on, and I don't know if that's the best analogy, but it's one I came up with off the fly, so bear with me. But yeah, man, you need to see somebody go. There's so many camps. Faraz up in Canada, Winklejohn. Well, I guess you can't go there because Holly Holm is there, but whatever. There's a lot of camps that are going to be better than yours. Especially you're in California. I've visited multiple gyms that have animals coming out of them. Just here in California, you got like Saxon and CMMA and all these other gyms just down here that are doing big things. Go explore. Don't be afraid to be human. You're afraid to be at the bottom of the barrel and claw your way back up. That's what happens when a champion falls from grace. You got to climb the ladder again. They gave you your shot, you botched it. Now, if you want to come back, you got to come back at ground zero. Anyways, guys, that's all I really wanted to touch on. Also one just last note. I have to say that this puts McGregor in a very interesting situation now because I think the UFC, WME, their new owners and all that, they were hoping that Rousey was going to come back sensationally and give them leverage against Conor McGregor's demands, but that doesn't look like it's going to happen. So I'm interested to see what happens in MMA this year. Shout out to Garbrandt. I didn't get a chance to do too much. I did post something on Instagram for him, but great, um, showing against Dominic Cruz, who is a hell of a champion, and again, who really just showed the utmost, you know, respect and really the heart of a warrior in loss, in defeat, and I really appreciate you for that as a fan. And Garbrandt, keep doing what you're doing. Beautiful work. Um, and yeah, man, anyways, again, happy New Year's to all of you guys from goldmines.com and, the team over here. And, um, stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of stuff. We're revamping the website. We're currently working on the first documentary with an MMA fighter named Brian Monahan, who will have his first MMA debut sometime in March. So I really want to give a shout out to him. We just started filming with him. Um, and yeah, again, shout out to everybody that helped me out in 2016 with Gold Mines and getting it started. And, again, I'm really looking forward to this year and just providing you guys with some great stuff and some great original content. So that's what we're working on over here. I do appreciate all of you guys who have listened and asked me about the website and its progress, and you know, just the things that we have going on over here. And again, just all I can say and just show is my utmost gratitude for everything that's happened in 2016 and going into 2017, and to all the people that have helped me out. Um, and Yeah, man. Thank you again. And once again, this is JU with goldminds.com. That's GOALEDMINDS.com, Gold Minds. And it's JU, man. And I'm out, and I'll talk to you guys soon. We have a great year of boxing coming up, and we have some more great MMA, I imagine, on the horizon. So definitely stay tuned. Make sure you liked this video. Make sure you hit subscribe down at the bottom. Stay tuned for the rest of the videos and audios and original content that will be coming out on our YouTube channel. And we'll take it from there. Anyways, goldminds.com. Once again, JU. See you guys later. Peace.